you who are new, I'm Sabrina, so welcome to my channel. Anyways, for those of you who are not aware, I went to Cuba maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I don't remember, maybe a month ago, 2 months ago, who knows. But I went there on spring break trip and I had the time of my life. You guys should go check my video out. So I know a lot of you guys was asking about like how did I go, what did I do, little basic tips. So that's what this video is about. So this video is about like the basic tips on how to get to Cuba, what to do when you're there, and how to basically make your trip a lot easier. Looking down on my phone because I'm trying to stay on track, so yeah. So the first thing first is to get there. So I went through JetBlue. I flew through JetBlue straight from Orlando to Cuba. So I'm not sure if you guys know, this is 2017. Obama lifted the embargo. I hope I'm saying this right, but he lifted up, so pretty much you don't really have to fly to Mexico in order to get to Cuba nowadays. You can go straight from the US to Cuba. Woohoo! So I went through JetBlue, and pretty much you do definitely need a visa in order to go to Cuba. You can't really go to Cuba without a visa. You're not allowed. You need a visa. Especially as an American, you need a visa. So you need a visa and a passport. So just to make it clear, the first thing as far as the visa situation, if you fly through JetBlue and Delta, that's when I flew through JetBlue, but if you fly through either JetBlue or Delta, you can pretty much get your visa at the airport instead of like going through a third party and getting your visa online, have to wait for it, blase, headaches. So I would suggest going through JetBlue or Delta since you can get it at the airport. The cost for the visa is $50. I paid $50 for my visa, and that's to and back. It's only $50. Make sure when you do get your visa, you have to, in order to get the visa, first of all, in order to get the visa, you have to qualify under the 12 reasons. Blase. You pick a reason. To be honest, they don't really check. They don't call nobody. They don't verify. They don't do none of that to see if you're really a student or if you're really going for people to people. They don't really care. They just want you to have a visa, pretty much. So make sure you pick one. I picked people to people because I stayed with a family, so I might as well just pick people to people. Yeah. So once you get your visa, make sure when you do get to go to Cuba, do not lose your visa. Please don't lose your visa. Because if you lose your visa, you're probably going to pay another $50 to get another one. Or you might just get stuck in Cuba. Yeah, so don't lose your visa. Oh, also make sure you take pictures of your passports once you go to Cuba, because you don't want to be carrying your passports around and then you have to lose your passport and you get stuck in Cuba. Yeah, just make sure you take a picture of your passport. That's regards to like passport visa situation. You do need travel insurance. Make sure I believe, I'm pretty sure your airline will automatically include travel insurance within your flight, but do your research or look at it. Make sure you look at the fine print to see if travel insurance is included. I know JetBlue definitely included travel insurance, so make sure you have that. The second thing is the money situation. Make sure you bring enough money. I would say this is to bring enough money. You know the kind of person that you are. I brought $400. Well, I actually brought 400 euros because what I decided to do was change my... Okay, let me say this. US money is penalized in Cuba. You can definitely have US money, but you pay more to change your US money to Cuban money versus you changing your US money to euros than to Cuban money. I know it's a lot, but trust me, you will save enough money. It may be a lot, but you will save your money, girl. Oh boy. But anyways, I decided to do that. So I decided to exchange before I went to Cuba. I decided to change my US money, which is I brought $430. I went to my bank and I changed my 430 to euros, and I got back $400, or 400 euros. And I took that 400 euros, and once I got to Cuba at the airport, make sure you change your money at the airport, or yeah, just change it at the airport, because it's probably gonna be really hard for you to change it once you get to to actual the city. So make sure you change it at the airport. So I took my 400 euros and I changed that to Cooks. So Cuba have two money system. The Cooks is equivalent to $1 or €1, and the peso is the local money, which is like the local people use, and that is, you can't really get pesos because that's their money, and the Cooks is for like people who comes from different country. Yeah, if you decided to you don't want to change your money to euros and you decided you want to change it from US to Cooks, you probably gonna be spending like $80. You probably gonna be losing, I'm at $80 just to change it, versus you could probably, because my euros gave me 403 Cooks, so I kind of just lost like $37, and that's nothing compared to $87. I'd rather lose 37 versus 87, if that makes sense. Anyways, so like I said, bring enough money, because your credit card would not work, and your credit card, your debit card, whatever card, it's not gonna work. So bring enough money, and you gotta know how long you staying there to see. Like I stayed for 8 days and I brought enough money and it lasted me the whole time. I actually had money to exchange back, and yeah, so bring enough money. If you know you're a big spender, bring enough big spender money. The hotels or stay, so you can definitely stay at a hotel if you want to, but there are also Airbnbs online, so you can book an Airbnb. And what I stayed was like a family, is equivalent to an Airbnb, but mine was arranged by my professor. My professor arranged it. But you can definitely look online and search Airbnbs, and you can find something, and you can probably stay at an Airbnb and you will be fine. And you probably would save a lot more money staying on an Airbnb versus spending a lot more money at a hotel. Plus you get the real experience with the people and the culture and the, you know, because we stayed with a lady who was just like a house mother, and she cooked breakfast when we asked, you know, for a low fee, and she made coffee. It was pretty good. Yeah, so like I said, you can, if you want to, you can definitely stay at a hotel, but if you don't want to, you can definitely stay at a Airbnb. But also, if you don't see it on Airbnb online, you can definitely do word of mouth booking. Like certain places in Cuba, they have this little angler kind of sign, and it's basically, it's like a bed and breakfast kind of sign, and it's telling you that like you can kind of stay there, you know. Eating the food there, so the food in Cuba is pretty good and inexpensive. Like when I mean it's not expensive at all, like yo, I told you I went to Cuba and I paid like, I only spent $200 to be quite honest, and food was super inexpensive. I spent, like, you can definitely get a meal for $3. I would say, I'm saying dollars because the Cooks are equivalent to dollars, so you get a meal for like $3 and you will be fine. And it's a big meal. Like, the food are not expensive at all, but you can also get less money. Like, I know you can also pay less. I know towards like sometimes in the morning we would go to, like, because we stayed in a local town or a local what's it called, yeah, we stayed in like in a town place, like just a local town, so we walked to the local little, in the whole kind of not apartments, restaurants, and we would go in there, and then we would spend, we'll give them you know, they'll say 20 pesos and we give them our cooks, like maybe 25 cents, and that will literally give me a whole breakfast sandwich and a juice and like a snack to go with it. Like, it's that cheap. 25 cents at a local place will give you that much money. And you, to be honest, you're not gonna, it's not impossible, but if you budget your money wisely, you can definitely survive in Cuba. Don't drink the water that's in Cuba because your body is not used to it. I think I said that in one of my last videos. Whatever country you go to, do not drink the water. Like, your body's not used to that, so don't go there and getting sick. Don't drink that water. And so the next thing is transportation. We took taxis around, but I'm not sure if you're gonna go to Cuba by yourself, or I suggest going with a group of people because you can kind of split the taxi bill, and it's really cheap for taxis if you with a lot of people. I would say that if you're getting a taxi, or we did taxis because I didn't know how to take the bus there, and taxis were a lot easier to take. So taxis was like maybe like 10 cooks to get to one location to the next, and or 5 cooks to get to, it depends on where you're going, but I know I paid maybe 10 cooks to go from Verdado, where I stayed, to go to Old Havana, and that's probably what 10 cooks, and then we divided that but among all of us that was in the taxi, and I barely paid any money, like maybe $1, who knows, maybe $1.50 for a taxi, and that's nothing. Beware of the vintage taxis. Yes, they're good, but like they can be scammy a bit. Like, they can scam you if you're not aware. Like, don't tell them how much you're willing to pay them to go. Like, let them tell you the price first, and then you negotiate on that. Because if you decide to be like, yeah, $10 or 10 cooks, and it doesn't even cost 10 cooks to go to that place, you just got scammed. So the next thing is technology. Your phone is not gonna work in Cuba, so although your phone may not work, there's Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is a bit complicated because, one, you have to pay for it, and it's not at your, like, unless you're in a hotel, you might have, yeah, unless you're at a hotel, you're probably gonna get Wi-Fi at your hotel, that you can stay there. But if you're like in an Airbnb, you don't have Wi-Fi access, because the Wi-Fi is basically like a government system, and you have to pretty much be in one location in order to use the Wi-Fi, and you have to pay either buy at like a Wi-Fi booth place like that sells Wi-Fi, and it's usually like $5 or $3 for the little Wi-Fi cards, and sometimes for an hour I will pay like $3, 2 cooks for a Wi-Fi. And yeah, and it's also, there are plugs there. When I mean plugs, there's always a plug somewhere, so just beware of the plugs, you know. That's all I'm gonna say about the plugs. If you know what the plug is, you know what a plug is. If you don't, you just don't. Basically, Havana is not dangerous at all. Like, it was the most safest place to go to, like, in order to go to Cuba. Like, it's so safe. Like, you can like walk around at nighttime, no one is gonna come in and attack you or rob you, or like maybe like pocket pickers who comes and steal your stuff. But as far as that, like, petty theft, that's it. But like, no one is gonna go and like hold you at gunpoint and try to kill you. And yeah, no, it's pretty safe. Unlike the United States, it's pretty safe. Yeah, it's pretty safe. And the second thing is, make sure you're aware of the scammers. Like, I call them the scammers. They're not really scammers, they're just people that really would scam you in a way. Like, okay, for example, you would meet some, like let's say everybody knows you're a tourist. Like, there's no doubt about it. People gonna know that you're a tourist. Like, they look at you, they can tell that you're a tourist, even though you may look like the next Cuban person that walks next to you, because Cuban comes in different colors, you know. But they definitely know you're a tourist. So you walk around and you will meet somebody, random person, that starts talking to you about Cuba, about, you know, America, and blah, 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 blah. And then next thing you know, they ask you if you're hungry, and then you be like, yeah, I'm hungry. And then they bring you to the most expensive restaurant. You just got scammed. Because one, you probably gonna pay $16 for $16 to $20 at this one restaurant, when you can go to the next restaurant and you'll pay $3 for the same meal. Like, and their meal is not even that good, you know? Like at the expensive restaurant, the meal's not even that good. Like the local little restaurants are a lot more good. Like the rice is great, you know? So be aware of those kind of people, because they are out there and they don't mean no harm. They're just trying to make their money. Oh, also download an offline map before you go to Cuba. That will kind of help you, help you roam around, or or Google Translator that doesn't use Wi-Fi, doesn't use like internet connection or anything like that. So make sure you download that too while you're going there. I think I covered everything. Last thing is to do your research. Like before you go, just make sure you do your research to see like about Cuban lifestyle, like how they are, and don't talk about the government while you're there. Like, don't be going to those people's country and start talking about their government, because they don't even talk about the government. I think you can go to jail for talking about the government, talking bad about the government. So don't go there doing that. Like, leave that topic alone. I think I might have covered everything. If I did not cover anything, you guys let me know. I'm not sure how anything about cruises, but I'm sure it's something similar to like the flight situation, and I'm sure you probably need the same amount of documents. But just make sure you do your research before you go. I'm also gonna have a blog post in detailed about my trip, so be on the lookout for that. And yeah, if I miss anything, you guys comment below and I will include that in my blog post. Let me know if you need more information about Cuba, and about my experience was pretty good. Like, it's pretty much all in that video. Like, I had fun. If you do go, you will probably have fun, most likely have fun. The only thing is, you probably, if you're not used to being disconnected with the world, it's probably gonna be a bit hard for you, because the internet, you can't really take the internet home, or you can't take it everywhere. You can only stay in one location. So other than that, to be honest, it's a great country. Like, just go and have fun, and let me know how how was Cuba and your experience and what you decided to do. It's pretty much a lot to do there in Cuba. You just have to look. It's not really fully developed yet as far as a tourist country, but it's definitely gonna get there, and give it about a couple more years, it's gonna get there. And yeah, this is it for this video. You guys don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave me a nice little thumbs up. And yeah, see you guys next time, and let me know what you guys think. Okay.